Jack Harlow woke up with a jolt. Cold metal pressed against his back. Thick straps held his arms and legs. A neural interface crown dug into his skull. The room was small, white, and filled with blinking machines. "He's awake," someone said. Jack tried to move. The straps were too tight, his heart raced. Where was he? The last thing he remembered was... The memory hit him like a punch. The Krell ships breaking through Earth's outer defenses. The emergency meeting at command. The desperate plan. "Major Harlow, try to stay calm," a woman in a lab coat said. Dr. Winters, that was her name. "The procedure is about to begin." "How long was I out?" Jack asked, his mouth dry. "Just a few hours. It's 600. The Krell destroyed Singapore base an hour ago." Jack closed his eyes. 2 days ago, the alien fleet had appeared at the edge of the solar system. Their weapons cut through Earth's best ships like they were made of paper. Colony after colony had fallen. Mars, Europa, Titan, all gone. "Where's General Hayes?" Jack asked. "Dead. The command center on Luna was hit 3 hours ago." Jack swallowed hard. The chain of command was falling apart. Earth was running out of time. The door slid open. A man in a military uniform walked in. Colonel Ben Foster. His face was grim, eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. "The Krell just took out our defense grid in sectors 7 through 12, Foster said. "We have maybe 48 hours before they reach Earth." "Then we need to hurry," Jack said. Dr. Winters checked the machines. "Major, I need to remind you what this procedure means. We're going to encode the defense algorithms directly into your neural pathways. Your brain is the only secure storage we have left that the Krell can't hack." "I know the cost," Jack said. "The process will overwrite most of your personal memories. Your military training will remain, but your past and your family, they'll be gone." Jack nodded. He had made his choice when the Krell destroyed the main data centers. The defense codes were humanity's last hope, a way to activate the experimental shield system that might stop the Krell fleet. "We've never done this before," Dr. Winters continued. "The pain will be severe, and there's no guarantee you'll survive." "Just do it," Jack said. Colonel Foster put a hand on Jack's shoulder. "Earth thanks you, Major." The door opened again. A woman rushed in, her face streaked with tears. "Eliza." Jack's chest tightened at the sight of his wife. "You can't do this," she said, pushing past the guards. "Jack, please." "Eliza, you shouldn't be here," Jack said. "This area is restricted." "I don't care. They told me what will happen. You won't remember me. You won't remember us." Dr. Winters moved toward the controls. "We need to start now." Eliza grabbed Jack's hand. 7 years, Jack. We've been married 7 years. Remember our cabin by the lake? The night we watched the meteor shower? Our plans for children? Jack felt tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry. There's no other way." "Security," Colonel Foster called. 2 guards moved toward Eliza. She fought against them as they pulled her away. "Start the procedure," Foster ordered. The neural crown hummed to life. Pain shot through Jack's skull. "Jack!" Eliza screamed as the guards dragged her toward the door. "Fight to remember me. Promise you'll find your way back." The pain grew stronger. Jack's vision blurred. The code began flowing into his mind, burning away everything else. "I'll find my way back to you," Jack whispered as darkness closed in. "I promise." The last thing he saw was Eliza's face before the memories began to disappear. Jack opened his eyes to bright white light. His body felt heavy, like he had been asleep for years. The recovery pod around him hummed softly. He blinked, trying to focus. "Vital signs stable," a computerized voice said. "Awakening sequence complete." The pod's clear top slid open. Cold air rushed in. Jack sat up slowly, his muscles weak. He wore a simple gray medical suit. The room was clean and modern, with medical equipment he didn't recognize. "Where am I?" he asked, his voice rough from disuse. A door slid open. A woman in a white uniform walked in. "Major Harlow, welcome back." Jack stared at her. He knew he was Major Jack Harlow. He remembered military training, combat skills, weapon systems. But when he tried to remember his life, there was nothing but fog. Back from where? He asked. You've been in stasis. 7 years, 2 months, and 14 days. Jack's heart raced. 7 years? Yes, the procedure was successful, but your brain needed time to heal. Jack tried to stand. His legs shook. The woman helped him. What procedure? Why can't I remember anything personal? The memory loss was expected. You volunteered for a neural encoding process. You saved Earth, Major. Jack looked out the window. A city spread below. Clean buildings. Green parks. Flying vehicles moved between towers. No signs of war. The Krell, Jack said, the name coming from somewhere deep in his mind. What happened to them? The war is over. We won. She smiled. Thanks to you. Jack touched his head. Something felt wrong. When he tried to remember details about the Krell or the war, sharp pain shot through his skull. Strange symbols flashed in his vision. I need to see someone in charge, Jack said. Of course, Commander Vance is waiting to speak with you. They walked through bright hallways. People in uniforms nodded respectfully as Jack passed. Some whispered, some stared. Jack felt like an exhibit. They entered a large office. A man with gray hair stood by the window. Commander Vance turned and smiled. Major Harlow, the hero awakens. I don't feel like a hero, Jack said. I don't remember being one. Vance gestured to a chair. Sit, I'll explain. Jack sat. His head throbbed. The code in your mind was the key, Vance said. When we extracted it, we created a weapon that ended the war. The Krell never saw it coming. What kind of weapon? Technical details aren't important now. You need to focus on recovery. Jack frowned. I want to know what I sacrificed my memories for. In time. Vance's smile didn't reach his eyes. For now, we've prepared quarters for you. You'll be debriefed over the next few weeks. Do I have family? Friends? Anyone? Vance hesitated. Your file says you were unmarried. No living relatives. Something flashed in Jack's mind. A woman's face, tears, a promise. That doesn't feel right, Jack said. Memory confusion is normal. It will pass. Vance handed him a small metal box. Your personal effects, not much, I'm afraid. Later, in his assigned quarters, Jack opened the box. A military badge, a watch, a small data chip. He inserted the chip into the room's computer terminal. The screen remained blank for a moment. Then 5 words appeared. Trust no one. They're lying. Jack stared at the message. The handwriting looked like his own. His head pounded as more code flashed behind his eyes. Outside his window, a perfect sunset painted the peaceful city gold. But something was very wrong. Jack slipped through the shadows of the military complex. 3 days of watching had shown him the patterns of the guards. They weren't guarding against escape. They were keeping something out. The message burned in his mind. Trust no one. They're lying. He reached the fence. The security badge he had stolen from a sleeping technician worked. The gate clicked open. Jack moved quickly across the empty street. No alarm sounded. Rain fell on the dark city. Jack pulled his stolen jacket tighter. The perfect weather he had seen from his window was fake. Outside the compound, the real city was broken. Buildings stood half-repaired. Military vehicles patrolled the streets. Jack ducked into an alley as a patrol passed. Their uniforms were wrong. The design was Earth military, but the fabric had a strange metallic sheen, not human-made. A hand grabbed his shoulder. Jack spun, ready to fight. Easy, soldier, a man whispered, tall, with a scarred face and sharp eyes. I'm Ryder, former intelligence. I've been watching you since you broke out. How did you know I would escape? Because you left yourself that message. Ryder pointed to a doorway. Inside, now. They entered an abandoned shop. Ryder locked the door and pulled down blackout blinds. What do you mean I left myself the message? Jack asked. Before the procedure. You knew they would lie to you when you woke up. Ryder activated a small device that hummed softly. Anti-listening field. Now we can talk. About what? About how the war isn't over. About how we lost. Jack's head pounded. Code flashed behind his eyes. Commander Vance said we won. Commander Vance is a puppet. The Krell control everything now. Ryder pulled out a small projector. I need to show you something, but it might trigger the code in your head. Ready? Jack nodded. Images appeared on the wall. A massive battle in Earth's orbit. Human ships falling. Then a white flag. Human leaders bowing before tall, insect-like creatures. The surrender, Ryder said. Not our victory. Pain shot through Jack's skull. He fell to his knees as symbols flashed in his vision. What's happening to me? He gasped. The code is reacting. It's trying to surface. Ryder helped him up. We need to get to the archives, see what they really did to you. They moved through the rainy city, avoiding patrols. The military archive was in an old bank building. Ryder used codes to get them inside. How do you have access? Jack asked. I was part of the resistance until they caught me. They think I'm dead. Ryder led him to a terminal. Your neural code wasn't a weapon. It was a key. A key to what? Something the Krell wanted badly. Something ancient and powerful. Ryder typed rapidly. Here, your file. Jack read the screen. Project Gatekeeper. Subject, Major Jack Harlow. Neural encoding of ancient gateway access codes. The Krell invaded because they detected the ancient technology on Earth, Ryder explained. They couldn't access it themselves. They needed a human mind to hold the codes. So I wasn't saving humanity. I was giving the Krell what they wanted. Not exactly. You hid the code so deep they couldn't extract all of it. That's why you're still alive. They need you to access the rest. Jack's vision blurred. The pain in his head grew worse. Images flashed faster. Something's happening, he said. Your mind is fighting to access the code. Alarm suddenly blared. Red lights flashed. They've found us, Ryder said, drawing a weapon. Jack fell against the wall as the pain peaked. His body convulsed. The code burst through his mental barriers. Every light in the building went out. Every computer died. Complete darkness fell. Jack? Ryder's voice came from the darkness. What did you just do? I don't know, Jack said. In the darkness, his eyes glowed with strange symbols. But I think I just remembered how to fight back. Ryder pulled Jack through the dark hallways of the archive building. Guards shouted behind them. Emergency lights flickered on, casting red shadows on the walls. This way, Ryder whispered. The power surge you caused knocked out their systems, but not for long. Jack's head still pounded. The glowing symbols in his eyes had faded, but he could feel the code moving inside his mind like a living thing. They reached a service door. Outside, rain poured down. A military transport hovered at the end of the street, its searchlight sweeping the area. Run for the subway tunnel, Ryder said. Don't stop. They sprinted across the open street. The searchlight caught them. Alarms wailed. Soldiers poured out of the transport. Halt! A voice commanded through a speaker. Ryder fired his weapon. The soldiers took cover. Jack and Ryder reached the subway entrance and raced down the stairs. Where are we going? Jack asked as they ran through the abandoned station. To the resistance. What's left of it? They jumped onto the tracks and ran into the dark tunnel. Behind them, boots pounded on concrete. Flashlight beams cut through the darkness. After an hour of moving through the tunnel system, they reached a hidden door. Ryder pressed his hand against it. The door scanned his palm and slid open. They entered a large underground space. People moved between makeshift shelters. Weapons were stacked against walls. Maps and screens covered a central table. A woman approached them. Her face was hard, her eyes tired. Ryder, you made it. She looked at Jack. So this is him. Dr. Keller, Ryder said, head of our science team. Follow me, she said. Quickly. They entered a small room filled with equipment. Dr. Keller sealed the door. The Krell will track you here soon, she said. We don't have much time. Tell me everything, Jack demanded. The truth. Dr. Keller nodded. The Krell came for the ancient gateway, a technology buried beneath Earth's surface for millions of years. They needed the access codes, which could only be stored in a human mind. My mind. Yes. You volunteered when we thought the codes would activate a defense system. But we were wrong. The gateway isn't a weapon. It's a portal to resources the Krell need. So we surrendered, Jack said. The military leaders did. They gave the Krell what they wanted in exchange for their lives. Earth is now a harvesting ground. Humans are being collected for genetic material. The Krell rule from orbital stations using human puppets like Vance to maintain control. Jack's stomach turned. And my wife? Did I have one? Dr. Keller and Ryder exchanged looks. Eliza Harlow, Dr. Keller said softly. She led the resistance after you went into stasis, the most wanted person on Earth. Jack's heart raced, the woman's face from his flashes of memory. Where is she now? Captured, 6 months ago. We haven't been able to find her. Jack closed his eyes. Pain shot through his skull again. More code surfaced. The Krell can't access the full gateway without the complete code in your mind, Dr. Keller explained. That's why they kept you alive. That's why they lied about the war. Can you extract it? Use it against them? We can try, but the process might kill you. Or erase what's left of your memories. Jack stood up. Do it. If there's a chance to stop them to find Eliza, I'll take it. Dr. Keller prepared a neural interface, similar to the one from Jack's first memory, but cruder. She attached it to his head. This will hurt, she warned. Jack gritted his teeth as the machine activated. Pain exploded behind his eyes. The code surged forward. Images flashed in his mind. The gateway. The Krell. Eliza's face. Suddenly the ground shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Alarms blared. They found us, Ryder shouted, grabbing his weapon. The wall exploded inward. Through the smoke and debris, tall insect-like figures entered. The Krell. Their compound eyes gleamed in the emergency lights. Behind them walked a human woman. Her eyes were empty, her movements mechanical. Jack stared in horror. Despite the implants on her face and the coldness in her eyes, he recognized her instantly. Eliza, he whispered as the world around them erupted into chaos. The Arctic base hummed with desperate activity. 3 weeks had passed since the resistance fled the Krell attack. Only 37 of them had made it out alive. Jack stared at the ancient structure buried in the ice. The gateway, a massive metal arch covered in symbols that matched the code in his mind. This is our last chance, Dr. Keller said, checking equipment. The Krell have found every other resistance cell. We're all that's left. Jack nodded. The partial extraction of the code had given them enough to find this place, but not enough to activate it. The rest remained locked in his mind. Any word on the perimeter? He asked. Ryder entered the chamber, frost covering his jacket. They're coming. Dropships. At least 5. They'll be here in 20 minutes. And Eliza? She's with them, leading them. Jack's chest tightened. The image of Eliza with those empty eyes and Krell implants haunted him. The woman he loved turned into a weapon against humanity. We need to finish this, Jack said. Start the final extraction. Dr. Keller hesitated. Jack, you need to understand. This will take everything. All your remaining memories. There won't be anything left of you. Will it work? Will it activate the gateway? In theory. The ancient records suggest it's a planetary defense system. It should drive the Krell away. And Eliza, the other controlled humans? The control implants should deactivate, but Jack, you won't remember her. You won't remember anything. Jack touched the small photo he'd found in the resistance archives. Him and Eliza smiling from before the war. Do it, he said. They connected him to the neural interface. The machine hummed to life. Pain shot through Jack's skull as the extraction began. Alarms blared. The base shook. They're here, someone shouted. Ryder organized the defenders. Gunfire echoed through the corridors. The Krell were inside. Jack screamed as the code tore free from his mind. Memories flashed before him. Training, his first mission, meeting Eliza, their wedding, all fading, burning away as the code emerged. The chamber door exploded. Krell soldiers entered, firing strange weapons. Resistance fighters fell. Eliza walked in behind them. Her movements were stiff, her eyes empty. Implants pulsed on her neck and temples. "Stop the extraction," she said, her voice flat and mechanical. "The gateway belongs to the Krell." Jack looked at her through tears of pain. "Eliza, fight it. Remember who you are." Something flickered in her eyes. Confusion. Recognition. "Jack?" she whispered. A Krell soldier struck her. She fell to her knees. The extraction reached its peak. Jack felt his mind emptying. The code fully surfaced. The gateway began to glow. "It's working," Dr. Keller shouted. The Krell rushed forward. Ryder and the last defenders fought to hold them back. Jack made his choice. With the last of his strength, he pulled free from the machine and lunged toward the gateway. His hands touched the ancient metal. The code poured from his mind into the structure. Blinding light filled the chamber. The Krell screamed, a high-pitched sound that hurt human ears. Their weapons failed, their bodies convulsed. The implants on Eliza's body sparked and fell away. She collapsed. Then silence. 6 months later, a man sat on a bench overlooking the rebuilt city. The sky was clear of Krell ships. Humans walked freely. The man didn't remember his name. The doctors called him Jack. They said he had saved the world, but he didn't remember that either. His mind was mostly empty. A woman approached. She sat beside him. "Good morning," she said. "Do you remember me today?" He looked at her. Something about her face seemed important, but he couldn't place it. "No," he said. "I'm sorry." She smiled sadly. "That's okay. My name is Eliza." "Eliza," he repeated. The name felt right on his tongue. "Would you like to hear a story?" she asked. "What story?" "Ours. I tell it to you every day, hoping something will stick." He didn't remember her, but he felt drawn to her, safe with her. "I'd like that," he said. Eliza took his hand. Once there was a soldier who made a promise to find his way back. Jack didn't remember making that promise, but somehow he had kept it.